What's up guys, how you doing? It's yours truly, Sugi, and today I will be sharing some of my first impressions out of Battlerite, which is currently on beta and will be released on Steam on early access on 20th of this month. In case you're out of the loop, it's September by the way. And this is a game made by Stunlock Studios, who are known from their two previous games, Dead Island Epidemic, which I also did a review on, and that game actually got closed I think roughly a year ago, and they just didn't have enough players. I think a lot of the complaints were that there was too pay to win, and I don't know, I actually enjoyed the game, but it was kind of fun to play with friends. Anyhow, then we have of course their first game known as Bloodline Champions. And Battlerite is essentially a spiritual successor to Bloodline Champions. It's essentially Bloodline Champions 2. However, a lot of things are different now. I think they changed the engine. Pretty sure about that. They changed the graphics to a lot better. They changed a lot of the designs except Ashka. And the designs are a lot more, I would say, cartoony, more artistic, more anime-like. And I think they are more like identifiable. I think a lot of the designs in the first game were too similar to each other in their designs, and they were not like, I was not able to separate them as like very unique from each other. And I think they did a lot of like good decisions in terms of what kind of graphic choice they wanted to go. And I really like the graphics on this game. It's very appealing looking, and a lot of the effects and animations and music seems pretty decent. And the game has changed a bit though, so there are some key differences. Not all the characters are the same as their counterparts from the original game. Some of them abilities have been tweaked. There will be new characters. Currently there's 19 characters on the game, and you have of course different type of maps of course compared to the first game. And then you have this new loot system, which is pretty much the chest system from Dota and Overwatch and League, and every game is using it. I've been talking about a bit on a lot of my other videos. I've been generally against the system. It's kind of exciting, but it enforces you, or kind of baits you into gambling. And I think gambling can be very destructive if you get into it very early on as a kid. So it will have like bad habits for you in the later part of life. Gladly, I had a bit of a gambling background as like slot machines, but I kind of got over it. I don't gamble anymore. But I will make that like another video. But essentially, it's a good system, and it doesn't seem that you have to grind out too much because you can still obtain the chests without like buying. So you can, just by completing games and in-game quests, you can obtain them. And some of the gameplay aspects have been changed too. As you like after every round, you're able to pick like an upgrade some of your abilities. Some of them like make your cooldown go down or make them do more damage, and the simple stuff, kind of like in Heroes Storm. And then you have the mounts, and like a lot of other stuff in this game, you're able to, as I talked about the loot system, so you're able to buy skins. Get skins from the chests. And then you're able to, change the parts. You're able to change the weapons of your character with the skin. So it's not like a total bundle skin. You can still like change some of the parts on your character, which is cool. And one of the things that you can change is buy mounts. And there's rams, and I think there was some type of other creature like hippo or something. I was not really sure what was it. But anyhow, you have things to grind out like icons and stuff that drops from the chest. You have competitive modes. You have 2v2 and 3v3. 3v3 was the main mode in the esports format on the main game on Bloodline Champions, so I assume that's going to be the general mode to be played. And I want to say to people though that this game is very skill based. It's all about skill. There's no RNG elements into the game whatsoever. There's no crits. There are no random elements, chance on hit, stuff like that, which some games are totally built on, like Dota, for example. And I did make a few videos on my other channel about this whole RNG thing and how it affects the game. And I think one of the reasons why Bloodline Champions did not exceed, because anybody can like get a kill or two in these games because you can just spam abilities in these lower elos. But the problem is though, if you don't have a lot of RNG elements to it, and if the game tends to be too hard for some people, they might get they might like that if they can't own people on the game. So that will be one thing that some people might see as a negative. There's no RNG. They will have like a bad time. They get owned all the time. So I'm a bit worried about that. If people are able to look past on that in this game, the game could be very, very successful. However, I don't have a very high opinion of Stunlock Studios from my previous, conversations with these people. I don't think they're very press friendly. I don't think they're super professional. I've always had this part of a problem with the Swedish gaming companies, and I can say that because I'm partly Swedish, so I can criticize my people for doing kind of like bad fucking PR. Paradox is a good example of that. But anyhow, I think the game is pretty good. There, as I said, there's 19 characters right now. They're going to be adding more characters over the time. There's a lot of skins to unlock, a lot of things to grind. There's good tutorial modes which kind of tell you how to play the game. And a lot of the characters offer different type of play styles. You have the melees, you have the ranged. So you definitely have something for everybody. You have kind of like breaking down to few different like roles, the tanks, the DPS, the ranged DPS, and the supports. And even the supports have like heals as skill shots, so there's no target spells to my understanding on the game at all at this point. There might be a few, but not that many. So everything is pretty much skill shot, and this kind of makes it that the game is really fully skilled, and that's something that you don't see that much in the MOBAs or games in general these days. But it's really nice to see that people really want to still play like hardcore games. I mean, the basic game mechanics aren't like super, it's not math or like super science or like nuclear science, whatever, you know what I'm saying. So it doesn't really require you too much to learn, but I think tweaks like remembering how much damage, how much this stun takes, and knowing everybody's abilities and ultimate abilities, it's going to take some time to master the game. So the basic mechanics are kind of easy, but it will take some time to learn it. And I will probably be playing this game a lot more in the future. Might make some few guides out of it, and I see a bright future on it. But Stunlock Studios have to do a proper launch on the game, and do a good PR to push it as a game and as an esports. I think it will be very entertaining to watch. The games don't last too long. I think roughly around 10 minutes per round, so it's very fast and fast paced, so you can play on lunch break and stuff like that if you don't have time, because some of these other MOBAs like League of Legends and Dota, they take time per game. So this might be the good game for people who are looking to play 1 round, 2 rounds per day. If you're interested in seeing other MOBA stuff or Battlerite videos in the near future on this channel, I recommend you subscribing. Until then, I will see you soon. Cheers.